to them Cardinals.
Joey Pasco.
We're having a rough day today.
Crying in Baltimore.
Let him cry. Alright, so Brandon Nelson. Not to be confused with Brad Nelson. Fetches Tundra. Let's see what turn 1 action he has. So Gregory is going to hope for some sweet Caracas interaction with his cards. He also has 4 Wasteland to do some mana denial.
And the Delver of Secrets for Brandon.
The use, turn 1 play.
You gonna go for a blind flip here, or do you think he has an upkeep brainstorm, perhaps?
I don't see his hand. He has days for Aether Ball, though. Pretty good day. So we're going blind here. He looks like he mulliganed to. Let's see. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4.
And he hits
flip.
it.
Boom. That's what we do, right?
That's how you win.
That's how you win.
Who needs all this setting up your library stuff when you can just do that?
Now, he's thinking about whether or not he should Wasteland that Rashadan port. I don't think so. I think you play the Tundra and have Spell Pierce open. He's thinking about it right now. Everyone always just wants to Wasteland something. I think you don't really care about the Rashadan port. Oh, okay, he's going to Ponder. That's fine, too. Definitely not Wasteland. I'm not a big Wasteland in this situation kind of guy.
But this is a mono white deck, so...
You'll Wasteland eventually, just not now.
What, a Caracas later on?
That's fine too, but
yeah.
Definitely not Wastelanding that Rashadan Port right off the bat. We got things to do right now. We don't have time to Stone Rain ourselves too. Alright, so we're shuffling here. He did not like the Ponder, he did not like the Spell Pierce.
There was a tweet earlier commenting on the Pro Tour coverage. Apparently they had to explain what Stone Rain was to the crowd because they mentioned it and people were like, what is Stone Rain? We've come that far, Shaheen.
Alright, I will not tell you what Stone Rain does. So
it's similar to Peak Eruption.
He draws a Thalia. Not a bad one. But the thing about Brandon's deck is that a Flip Delver is pretty much all he needs to do for a while, unless he's met with a Sword to Plowshares.
Get a Mangara of Corondor online.
Mangara is just a little slow for that Delver. He's going to hit him at least 3 more times before that happens here.
Singleton Fiend Hunter for Greg.
So in comes crashing in Delver of Secrets. Insectile Aberration here.
Thalia, Guardian of Thraben there on your screen. Part of the taxes in this deck. Pay the tax lady.
Yeah.
Tax woman.
She'll collect it from you.
And if you don't pay the tax, you might get a warning for a game rule violation.
Yeah. You might. We should give him a warning for not playing land tax, I think.
Flavor warning.
Flavor violation.
You know, Ben Stark is the flavor judge, I think, at Flavor Judge on Twitter.
Oh, is he? There we go, then.
And he stole that right from under me. I should be the flavor judge. Alright, so there you go. The Insectile Aberration helping Brandon. Did you know they made a sequel to The Fly? The Jeff Goldblum one?
I don't even know what that is.
The movie The Fly. You don't know?
Idea.
It was a horror movie like back in the 50s or 60s with Vincent Price where a scientist uses like basically a transporter.
Okay.
And he accidentally transports himself from one pod to the other along with a fly, and their genes merge.
Oh, so
and
it's
it
like
becomes
a fly
human
man.
fly. Yeah.
It's a fly man, I see.
And then I think in the 90s, early 90s, late 80s maybe, Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis had a remake.
Oh.
And then there was also a sequel to that.
Oh.
It was like The Son of the Fly or something.
And yeah, I did not know that. Learned something new. I'm not a big 50s horror movie connoisseur.
Well, Vincent Price is
probably classic.
The great ambassadors of the
Wow,
horror
what a
genre.
draw that was. He had no land left after that. I think he drew a Scolding Tarn. Pretty good draw there when you have no land left in your deck, or in your hand rather. So that's going to enable him to use Lightning Bolt here.
To take out the Mother of Runes.
Yeah, what a good draw. So
he's going to think about it though.
Yeah.
Make sure that's what he wants to do.
Yeah, he's also, you got to go for it here. Just do it.
Almost certainly that's what he wants to do.
He's thinking about aiming at his face and maybe racing, and that's a possibility as well. But I don't know. it lowers the clock by 1 turn. You only have to hit him 3 more times with the Delver. But I don't know. He might be thinking about getting rid of that Thalia as well. But the danger of killing Thalia is that if Gregory has another Thalia, he kind of wastes it. Yeah, he just
he might be thinking about the Thalia because the Caracas is tapped.
Yeah, I think I might kill Thalia here and go for it. Just because Thalia is such a problem card.
So is Mother of Runes. Mother of Runes is the lightning rod of white decks.
Yeah.
Forces you to kill her.
I think Gregory has a Fiend Hunter in his hand. I think he has a solo Fiat. He does.
Oh, so he drew the Singleton Fiend Hunter in his deck. That's
devastating.
Both of those cards from Innistrad block. Did you ever do this in Limited?
Yes, in Limited I have. Yeah,
sure, why not?
We got a few interesting cards here.
And here we are in Legacy. Fiend Hunter, basically the faceless butcher. He's got a face there in the art. Got a big hammer too. Big bloody hammer.
Yeah, he's pretty good at what he does.
So if Brandon Nelson lightning bolts the Fiend Hunter, then Delver of Secrets will come back on the day side, so he'll have to flip it back and do Insectile Aberration.
Yep. Alright, so...
And to do that will cost him 2 mana to lightning bolt because of the Thalia attacks.
Definitely in a good situation for Gregory. Like you're saying, he just has a lot of hate on the board. He's got Thalia on the board, he had his 1 Fiend Hunter, and even if he gets back the Delver, he's going to have to take a turn or 2 to flip it. Ponder's pretty good at that, though. Alright, so fetching here, let's see what he's got. So, what he wants to do is definitely get his Delver back.
Oh, Black Devotion. We're talking about what multi-black spells. Geralf's Messenger is one that just rotated out of standard.
Oh, yeah.
Phyrexian Obliterator. Black. That alone can get your Erebos.
That is it. That with the god, you're good to go.
And it's a handful. Someone play some Phyrexian Obliterator maybe in Legacy. Actually, we saw Brian Kibler had a video article with like a Phyrexian Obliterator Domri raid deck, if you can believe this. Black with a red-green Planeswalker. Because he was trying to get the fight ability with Obliterator. I don't think he ever got that ability off in any of his matches, but you can go to StarCityGames.com and check out that on the premium side.
Yeah, I mean...
So Lightning Bolt on the Fiend Hunter, as we said, comes back. Delver Secrets comes back. It is a lonely 1/1 and does not flip right here. So now Brandon Nelson a little bit behind to the 2/1 first striking Thalia. Gregory says, after you draw, it looks like, tap your Tundra with Port. And Brandon Nelson doubles down with another Delver Secret, so that's a way, if the top card of his library is an instant or sorcery, he can flip 2 Delvers now and attack for 6.
Yeah, that's what this deck can just do. It can just flip Delvers out of nowhere and just crash in. And Gregory's already at 10 from that earlier Delver beatdown, so...
Needs to find some other way. Okay, Stoneforge Mystic can even the odds. Most likely going to get Umezaz Jite here. Other things he could get. Okay, Batterskull. If he expects that Stoneforge to survive, Batterskull is good. And I guess we've seen already 2 lightning bolts from Brandon Nelson.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not like you can just reach him out of here. I mean, how much burn do these Legacy decks play? He's only playing 4 bolts. I mean, that's the burn spell in Legacy. That's the one that he's going to use. He's not going to, we're not incinerating anybody in Legacy here. Yep, 4 lightning bolts.
Could have Forked Lightning.
Yeah, Forked Bolt. Yeah, if he's playing Rug Delver, they definitely play Forked Bolt. But this deck, when you're playing Geist of St. Traff and Stoneforge Mystic and Batterskull and Jite, you really lack the space to have a few extra burn spells in your deck. He's also playing 2 Sword to Plowshare, which would take the spot of Forked Bolt, I think. But yeah, when you have access to white, why not play the best removal spell? Arguably the best removal spell of all time. Alright, so Delver here, she's thinking about flipping them. He's going to have to ponder his way out. Ponder his way out of the situation.
The Tundra once again tapped by the Rashaden Port, cutting Brandon off of mana. Uses Misty Rainforest to get a second Tundra.
Alright, so it looks like what's you got here? Stifle, Wasteland, I think. Alright, so he's just pretty much just trying to flip these Delvers here, right? The Stoneforge Mystic's a nightmare. This is going to become a huge problem here.
Yeah, if he doesn't have an immediate answer to the Stoneforge Mystic, if Gregory is allowed to untap, then that Stoneforge Mystic represents Batterskull and a Germ token.
Luckily, that Stifle can stop the Germ from ever sprouting there, if you will, or cultivating. So he can do that. Definitely wants to draw that Stifle in a hurry. Think about, so yeah, you put the Wasteland on top.
Yeah, with this,
you Wasteland one of his.
Pondering here.
Yeah, you got to leave this. The top of your decks is terrible right now, but you need to flip those Delvers. You need to.
Yeah.
So you do this. You get the Wasteland. You waste one of his lands. Unless he plays land for turn already. I don't think he has. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he must have been. All right, so Stoneforge untaps. Whenever you untap with Stoneforge Mystic, you just can't untap fast enough. You know, you're just ready to go. Ready to put that Batterskull in play, that Jitse in play, do some real damage. Especially against these aggro decks. I mean, a lot of times you get a Batterskull in play, and then there's just nothing that your opponent can do about it. The lifelink is gigantic, you know.
Get a World Slayer in play.
Yeah. Or a, what was the legendary one that turns into a dragon?
Oh, Tatsumasa.
Yeah, the Dragon's Fang, right?
Yeah, the Fangs.
Yeah. You play that. I don't think that would be as good as a play, though.
Batterskull's a little better, huh? Germs greater than dragons.
A little bit better. You know, about, you can't see my hand motion right now, but about a football field better. So
Germs can kill dragons.
That's true.
Maybe. I don't know much about.
You know who's the best dragon killer?
Dragon science.
Baneslayer Angel is the best dragon killer.
No, I don't believe so. I believe it's Christian Bale.
No, we're talking not in bad movies. We're talking about in the game of Magic. Not the actual Dragon Slayer. Alright, so we're going to Wasteland here. You Wasteland here because you want him to have 5 lands to equip the Batterskull after we stifle the trigger. And this pretty much stops that from happening. So.
And here...
You waste that Caracas too to kind of make him think about bouncing something. Or bouncing a Thalia for safety.
Gregory couldn't have known for sure that Stifle existed, but... Well, now he knows because it flipped the Delvers, but had he known about it, he should have he activated the Stoneforge on his turn to get his Germ.
Yeah. Stifle is one of those cards that's tricky to play around.
And you never expect it.
It just does so many things.
You never expect it.
Don't stifle this. Let the Batterskull come into play and then stifle the Batterskull. Trust me. You'll be much better off. No. Because if you don't, then he just untap and do it on his turn. If you do this, then he just sit there with a Batterskull that does nothing and the game is over.
Right, because this is in response to the Wasteland on the Caracas, who's going to go down to 3 lands, doesn't have the mana to equip, even if he draws a land.
Brandon should know this because, again, when you're playing Stifle, you just always let the Batterskull come into play and you just stifle the trigger on the Batterskull. It's not like, right now, Gregory's at 4, so it's not like he's in great shape anyway, but if he draws a sword here, yeah, say okay, yeah. So he's going to say okay.
He's counting.
He's asking. Oh, there you go. He's getting... Yeah, and the judge's going to look it up on the phone here. He's asking, I bet you he's asking if he can stifle the triggered ability of Germ, and he can. So it's definite normal play in Legacy. It happens all the time. A rookie mistake is stifling the Stoneforge Mystic itself, because then they can just untap and activate it again. Now, if he does it this way, he can't do that. Because if Gregory untaps and draws a sword to Plowshare, let's say, he gets sword to Delver, play a Batterskull on his turn, go to 1 from the swing back, and then Batterskull will put him right back in this game. So if Brandon doesn't do this right, he can cost himself the game. So he's being told if he can do it or not.
Do it now. Oh, looks like he's stifling the Stoneforge Mystic activation.
Man, this is a big mistake.
I don't know if it's a big mistake.
In Legacy, there are no small mistakes.
Oh my.
In Legacy,
is that the 5th?
That's another noble truth there. In Legacy, there are only humongous mistakes.
Oh,
so if he has a sword here,
among us.
Is that a sword? Because this would play out. No, that's a Mirror Crusader. All right, he loses.
Okay.
So if he draws sword there, he gets to play Battle Skull on his turn, sword a Delver, go to 1, and then bash Brandon with a Battle Skull. That's why he's got to make sure you play it safe. So we're going to go to game 2. And Stoneforge Mystic, pretty good. Much better on turn 2 or 3 than turn 5 or 6 there when it came out. All right, so if you are a Death and Taxes player, what do you want to bring in this matchup here?
Well, he did not see Geist of Saint Draft, but you know it's there, right?
Yeah.
You gotta know it's there.
Yeah.
Gotta know. If you play Legacy, you must know. So something to deal with that. I see a Singleton Pyroclasm.
He's got.
That's really.
Let's see. I mean,
not much more.
He's got Sword of Plowshare here too. So he's got Sword. He's got Pyroclasm, and then he's got Wear and Tear. One of. And you bring that in because you're playing against fellow Jute and Batterskull over here, and Aether Vial as well. So the Death and Taxes player is going to bring in. Let's see what he's got here.
Oh yeah, that was Brandon Nelson's
Yeah, that's
sideboard.
Brandon Nelson's sideboard. So Death and Taxes, he has an Oblivion Ring. It's not so great, but it's not too bad. Sword of Fire and Ice. That's an interesting card. I haven't seen that played in Legacy at all. Most of all the sword glory is in, not even swords. Jute and Batterskull. He's got, let's see. It's
Leonin Relic Warder.
He's got a Path to Exile. That's nice to bring in. Look at this Sarah Avenger. That's a sweet card, right?
Yeah, that's a 2-drop. You cannot cast until, what is it, the 3rd turn, the 4th turn?
Yep.
But you can Aether Violet in with 2 counters.
Yeah, so I can see that coming in too. I mean, it's big. So Legacy...
Yeah, it's big, but it's just a 3/3 flyer with
It blocks
Vigilance.
Geist of Saint Traff, though.
Blocks Geist. It trades with Insectile Aberration.
Yeah.
It's trading... Which I guess trading is fine.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Because
It
the
dodges
Death and
Grim-
Taxes deck is more of the control deck here.
Yeah. It has also, it dodges Grim Lavamancer burn, so it has a way to get out of that as well. So...
Ooh, this is a good one. How did I miss this? Matt Braddock at a Storm Brewing. He's a level 2 judge out from your neck of the woods. I believe he's in Baltimore.
Okay.
Says earlier my comment about Fiend Hunter and Faceless Butcher, right? Those are similar cards. He says you might say that Faceless or Fiend Hunter is a faced butcher. How did we miss that, Shaheen? We're just
I don't
on
get it.
fail mode. He's like Faceless Butcher, but he's got a face, so he's a faced butcher.
That seems a little obvious. I mean, you say it's like Faceless Butcher, but a human. I mean, we can just give it like a little biography.
A little biography of the Fiend Hunter.
Not a big Fiend Hunter guy.
What happens when a Fiend Hunter exiles a Faceless Butcher, and then you have a Faceless Butcher exiling a Fiend Hunter? Does the flavor world just collapse in on itself into like a singularity?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. I mean, who wins that battle? I think in a vacuum, I think the Faceless Butcher does because he's older and a way cooler, like, flavor to it, I think.
He's got an extra point of power. And like giant crab claws.
It's 2 or 3, yeah.
It's kind of terrifying looking.
Chris Landell says if he stifles a Germ Trigger and he draws a land, he can equip and win. No, because he wastelanded his 4th land, so he would need to play 2 land.
It was in response to the Wasteland activation, so the land was still on the board while they were discussing the rules interactions there.
Yeah, so he would have been 2 lands short, so he would need to make multiple land drops here. Alright, so sideboarding is done. Shuffling up for the game, ready to go. Brandon Nelson up 1-0. Carefully playing this match. I don't think there was too much he could have done on Gregory's side to overcome the double Delver flip there. Delvers is a good card, especially, it's one of those cards where it's the reason why Sword is so good still, because Sword doesn't really hit Nimble Mongoose, it hits Grizzlebrand, but the damage is already done, so it doesn't hit a lot of the other fringy cards on the outside decks, but it still kills Tarmogoyf, and it still kills Delver Secrets and all these aggressive 1 and 2 mana spells, and you need it around. Also, I think maybe another weakness of Esper Blade nowadays is that Snapcaster Mage got significantly worse with Deathrite Shaman being all over the place. I still play 3. I still think it's a fine card, but you're walking on eggshells there because you got to do things main phase. You have to waste removal spells and counter magic early on Deathrite Shamans, because if you're playing a Snapcaster Mage deck, a Deathrite Shaman can really throw a wrench in your works there. So.
Shaheen Sarani likes to walk on eggshells. Would you rather them be eggshells or broken glass?
Probably eggshells would be more enjoyable than broken glass.
Okay.
I think so.
How
about thin ice?
If the terrorists take over the Nakatomi Plaza, don't call upon Shaheen Sarani to stop them.
No, not at all.
Turn 1 Mother of Runes.
Perfect. I ain't scared.
You're not scared?
Nope.
Is Brandon Nelson scared?
Nope.
No.
I'm rooting for Brandon.
Does anything scare?
A boy of mine. Let's get him.
A boy?
A boy. Yeah, that's a slang for kids nowadays, saying more for like a buddy.
Yeah, but this is a grown man here, right? He's
not compared to
20.
Not compared to us.
How old do you think? 23?
He's probably like 14, 15. Who knows?
No, AJ Soccer is 14 or 15.
Yeah.
That guy, and he's a giant too.
A very tall man.
See, he's afraid. Brandon Nelson is afraid of the Mother of Runes and has to tell her to go to the farm.
Yeah, he made her into a farmer. But the thing about Sword of Plowshare there, I mean, it's one of those things you have to use it on Mother because it doesn't really do anything on other creatures when it's out. So.
But now, where's it going to be? Thalia? Stoneforge Mystic?
I think Thalia is the play, but Stoneforge is what he does. I don't think either one is completely wrong, so.
I like the Thalia as well, because you never know. Maybe Brandon has kept a land light hand, and then the Thalia will just completely mess him up.
Yeah. And
I always like to mess people up first.
Yeah, because Delver is famous for playing way fewer lands than it should play. So they're
and there you go.
Balancing that.
Could be indicating that he's land light by brainstorming here main phase on turn 2. Oh.
It's a Pyroclasm.
The Thalia could have been it. No, we see some lands, so Brandon is just trying to get maximum information and value here.
This is going to be a pretty good Pyroclasm, because if Gregory decides to decides to play Thalia here to kind of slow him down, then we'll see what happens.
Thalia or activate Stoneforge?
You can activate Stoneforge. But luckily, I think Brandon has a Stifle in his hand, so we know how that's going to go. Maybe playing around Stifle, Gregory will do that. If Brandon doesn't tap that, if he doesn't use that land this turn, it's kind of a clear giveaway that he has a 1-mana spell, right? If he just says go here. He has another bolt. Okay, so he's just going to bolt it. Yeah. I don't know if I like the bolt there, but I kind of like it. I think it's Stifle. I think I'd rather Stifle than he says okay, because it's basically Gregory has to say go for a whole turn if he has Stifle.
Yeah, but now he is able to get the Thalia out. And notably, Gregory light on lands. Horizon Canopy has been pinging him away.
Oh, and another bolt. We need if there's a Wasteland in Brandon's hand, you definitely Wasteland that dual land, even though he's mono white. You still Wasteland that. You don't want to draw a card. Actually, no. I guess you Wasteland the Plains then, so he takes a lot more damage. Because he's not going to set that land anytime soon.
You can't waste
cards.
the Plains.
Yeah, what am I talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to Wasteland the dual land, put him down to 1 land, and Gregory's going to be in a world of hurt there. He's thinking about bolting here first. Or Pyroclasm, maybe. He had to play a 3rd land to do so. Definitely Wasteland here. When your opponent misses a land drop, it's time to waste. Lay waste.
You just no mercy, huh? No mercy whatsoever. There you go. Wasteland on the Horizon Canopy. And go. Maybe Brandon Nelson is hoping that the Thalia will work against Gregory now.
Yeah, or he can just end the turn bolt it too. So
yeah. but it might make him unable to cast, I don't know.
It's
Aether
actually a good
Vial?
value. If he has a third land, he gets a Pyroclasm both those cards away. So
Ooh, yeah.
he does have the Volcanic Island. He has Wear and Tear
That
also.
is excellent value for the Singleton Pyroclasm here.
Yep. So Death and Taxes. Don't you think he wished he had land tax in play? That would be quite fortunate, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Spells Kite.
Jeff Higgins messaged me on Facebook and said Death and Taxes, his name comes from the fact that, let me get the exact quote here because I don't want to mess this up. White Weenie will always exist in every format, just like humans will always have death and taxes.
Is that where
Yeah.
where the name is derived? Okay.
But that's not true at all. In the future someday, we will not have taxes. I mean, we will live in some kind of utopian society where we don't need taxes. And maybe we won't have death either.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's true, yeah.
So,
All right,
future science fiction disagrees with this deck name.
that's fine. So now, here's why I wanted to use that Stifle and Stoneforge Mystic. Now we have double Stifle in our hand. It's kind of It's not so great.
Yeah, this deck doesn't have fetch lands.
Yeah, so if you're going to keep all of these Stifles in against this deck, then you need to, like, use them and have the first ability to do so, the first chance to do so.
Can't stifle that.
No.
So, Phyrexian Revoker going to name. Going to name what? What is this gonna?
So, he tries to stifle Batterskull, and then Gregory pays 2 life to try to redirect the Stifle, it pays 2 life again. Can he redirect that Stifle to one of the Spellskite triggers?
Now you're just confusing me.
Can he use Spellskite to stop a Batterskull from getting a Germ token?
Spellskite.
And send it to the Spellskite's ability instead. You take a minute on that one while
Let me
I
take a look at Spellskite.
Yeah, that's one that's a little interesting little situation there. It's probably going to come up very soon. So Delver from Brandon Nelson.
You cannot. Because you changed the target of the speller ability to Spellskite. You can't change it to Spellskite's ability.
Right, yeah, okay. Sounds good. Yeah, see, I don't know how to play Magic. I kind of just sit here, put a blazer on, and talk to you guys about control, so I do my best. Alright, so Caracas on his other Caracas. And he might as well, with the new legend rule, he gets to use
some extra mana.
Gets an extra mana. So Pithing Needle and Batterskull. He's got a Stifle in his hand, so I mean, you just stifle this. You don't want him to have.
Did we mention that
you don't want him to have the
Phyrexian
GTA.
Revoker is on Grim Lavamancer?
Okay, yeah. There we go. Grim Lavamancer is now unusable. You waste a Stifle because you want him to have GTA and Batterskull. And you have 2 Stifles. I mean, I don't know what else you're going to wait for.
I'm still waiting for that fetch land.
Yeah, one day.
Hey boy, where are your fetch lands? Surprise, I don't have any. Okay, counter the search ability.
Yep.
Stoneforge is just a squire.
Now here's a problem here.
Grass squire.
You have the Wear and Tear, which he can hit the Batterskull with, but the problem is Spellskite can take that Wear and Tear.
Yes, it can.
And you're in trouble then.
Spellskite is a legal target for which side is it? Wear. So he's just going to do it now, knowing that that is the inevitable future. Excuse me.
Do you think Brandon's going to know to stifle the... Oh, he's not going to even matter. See, this is, again, I wouldn't waste the Bolt there because you wait for him to activate Stoneforge Mystic, put the 5 mana Batterskull in play, and he needs 3 more lands to even think about equipping that Batterskull. And you get to save your Bolt for, let's say, Mother Runes and Mirror Crusaders, and they'll just, beat your face in. I'm going to have a little talk with Brandon about Stifle after this match. We'll have a little chat about it. I hate Stifle. Trust me, I know. I know how to play with that card. It's a miserable card. 1 mana Stone Rains
I played with it back in the day.
It's not fair. It's not a fair card.
Onslaught Block Constructed.
I've actually
You could
had it
stifle
too.
the draw step. Do you remember that?
No, I
You
didn't
could
know that.
stifle the draw for the turn. It was a triggered ability.
Oh, was it?
And they changed it largely, I think, because of this interaction, that it was very unintuitive. People were like, what do you mean it's a trigger? It's my draw for the
Yeah,
turn.
yeah, it's not. It's just not a thing that you
Yeah.
would go on the stack there, and that's funny.
Oh, went on the stack.
I had it in my Cunning Wish sideboard for Mind's Desire and stuff back in the day. So
Oh yeah, Storm.
yeah, I was
Storm
pretty good
trigger.
against that. All right, so Wasteland number 2. And here's a perfect example where he could have bolted the Revoker too, not be taking all his damage, and just just have a little Stoneforge Mystic hanging out there. Doesn't do too much. All right, so if Revoker comes in, Gregory has a Pithy Needle too, so he's all about stopping Brandon's activated abilities here. I don't like Pithy Needle and Revoker against Brandon because a lot of his stuff shared with him. He has Batterskull, they both have Batterskull. He's
Stoneforge Mystic, yeah.
so
Umizaz GT.
it's just I think Gregory brought in a few too many of these type of effects because of how they share a lot of these cards.
He's getting into it. Death and Taxes gotta,
Yeah.
tax.
Oh man.
Oh.
The
Taxman
Batterskull. The one and only.
There are actually many of them. Are you
Yeah.
excited about the Grand Prix promo foil version of Batterskull?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna. I think it's just a sweet card because
I think they should also make a Grand Prix promo foil germ token
yeah.
and hand that out as well.
Yeah, foil germ token, foil Batterskull. Well, because on Moto, when you play a foil card, it comes with a foil token like that.
Oh yeah, so you get your foil germs often?
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, the damage is done. Brandon Nelson has landed a Batterskull, and Greg Massaro has seemingly no answer here. Just gonna have to get battered up and down.
It's not good.
Bam, take 4.
Take it. Take 4 damage.
Wasteland. Not gonna get it done here, but gets him 1 mana closer to casting a Batterskull of his own.
Yeah, and I think Brandon has a Daze. Ooh, that's going to be a nasty one on Batterskull, right?
Yeah.
He also has Stifle, too, if he so chooses.
Could stifle, I guess, the Wasteland at this point.
Yeah, there's no
Greg
way.
uses
Gregory has a big plan for the 5th land Batterskull, so this game is quickly getting out of reach for Gregory. The death might be coming on his side of the board. It's getting a little rough. I wouldn't want to be in that spot.
Someday we'll have a world with no death or taxes.
Oh, I want this utopia. All right, here
We'll
comes
have
Batterskull.
spaceships.
Yeah, flying
phaser
cars like you saw on
beam.
Facebook earlier. Batterskull will get dazed here. And Brandon keeping in days, a lot of people board out days on the draw, especially if they saw game 1. It's one of those cards that's just a usual auto exit here. So, interesting play. Ponder. I see a bunch of spells. That's double Geisha Sanctuary. No, double Stoneforge Mystic.
It's the flaming sword of Stoneforge
We
Mystic.
take one of those Stoneforge Mystics, we go get our Jite, and then things just get out of hand. But we know Gregory has Pithy Needle in his hand. Did he say go? No, he didn't say go. I don't think so. Yeah, he's going to play Stoneforge here. So we know he has Pithy Needle, but Brandon doesn't. Still, facing down the Batterskull is real tough for Gregory here. All right, so on Gregory's side, I don't think he has many outs to what's happening here. He can delay inevitable things, like he can play like no, that won't work either. Mirror Crusader's Pro Black, and that's pretty cool against Batterskull. But then he can just move the Batterskull on his Stoneforge Mystic.
Right.
He's in a tough situation.
Well,
He has Sword of
Swords to
Plowshares.
Plowshares. That's his.
I'll delay just another turn here.
So, swords. I'm sorry. Pithy Needle naming Batterskull?
I think he's naming Jite. I think he has to name Jite. Because the name of the
Two-thirds of one, half dozen of another.
Yeah, because if he names GTA because the Batterskull is already dangerous enough. He could sword the Germ and then name Batterskull, but then he just loses to the GTA. Actually, I don't know. I might be on board with you right now. Yeah, actually, after thinking about it, yeah, if he's gonna sword this Batterskull,
He's gonna do this anyway.
He might as well name Batterskull. Yeah, I'm with you. Because then he can't return the Batterskull to his hand. He can't replay it with Stoneforge. You can't equip it. Yeah, I'm going to change my vote to naming Batterskull.
Okay, Tribal Council has spoken. Yeah. What do you guys think? Let us know. Hashtag SCGMKE. Would you have Piling Needled Batterskull or Jite? Well, either way, he gets a Thalia on the board.
Yeah, and
taps to leave. Okay, so another slight misplay here. Gregory tried to untap Karakas and say, I want to play Thalia with this mana, and Brandon said, well, you already tapped it, committing him to tapping the Karakas.
Yeah, this level of play, you really have to be tight with the way you tap lands, the way you play spells. There are no take-backs in the feature match area.
I mean, that's a big interaction because the Karakas Thalia can blank the equipment for a while.
Right, yeah. Absolutely.
Probably not going to matter here on this turn because Brandon Nelson does not have a favorable attack. Although, okay, this could matter. Yeah, because he's going to fetch a 5th land, equip the Batterskull to the Stoneforge Mystic, and attack here.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
So, A, the Piling Needle naming Jite instead of Batterskull. B, tapping the wrong mana, tapping Karakas.
Yeah, see,
is now going to cost Gregory some life here. 5 damage from this Batterskull Stoneforge Mystic. Puts him within range of a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
So a sequence of misplays for Gregory Massaro here on his turn.
And the misplay was easy to do because the problem was when he played Stoneforge and got Jite, your first thought is, oh, I got Pithing Needle, I'm going to name Jite. That was my first thought too. But once you drew the sword, you gave yourself an out to the Batterskull, and you could have stopped it for good. And your Batterskull is already countered days, so it's not like you're going to need your Batterskull anytime soon.
Right.
He's gone. So yeah. Your Knight's going to attack.
Attack,
shot
block. Returned Thalia with Karakas. Lightning Bolt you. There you go. That misplay right there cost Gregory this game.
And
at the very least right there because the Lightning Bolt finished him off. He took the extra 5 damage.
Yeah. Wild.
Oof.
Wild, my friend. Anyway, congratulations to Brandon Nelson, moving to 5-1 on his search in the 9-round tournament to make top 8. We hope him the best. He's no stranger to success as well. So hopefully we see some Brandon Blue, White, Red Delver